Hey everyone, it's JT and welcome to another episode of Help Me JT. So today I'm answering the question, what to do when you are being groomed for a job that you don't want. This can happen sometimes. You're a rock star at your company and the management team has identified you for a role they think you're going to be fabulous at, and they start grooming you and preparing you for that role. But as you're working through it, you realize it's not where your passions lie. It's not where your perceived strengths lie. It's not motivating you. You're not feeling engaged by the work. And that's a problem because we know plenty of studies show that if you're not fully engaged in your work and you don't see it aligning with your future career goals, it will cause problems for you because you won't be as effective. People pick up on it, they can tell, and as a result, you won't get where you want to go. Not only is it sending you in the wrong direction, but you're going to go begrudgingly. It's almost like pulling, a horse that's sticking its hooves into the ground and dragging it along. That's not good for your career. People will see that, feel that, and it can work against you. And I'll tell you, after being in corporations and HR for many years, I've seen this happen. So here's what you need to do. Before you have a conversation with anybody at your office about this, you need to sit down and think about what particular aspects of this job are not exciting you. Why do you feel like they are not in alignment with your vision for your career and where you want to go? That's very important that you quantify that. And secondly, you have to say to yourself, where do you see yourself? What role within the organization is in alignment and a fit for what you want to do? And why is that? What's the case for that? And then lastly, you want to talk about the added value that you would bring to the organization by pivoting in this direction that you've identified for yourself. So how are you going to save or make the company more money because of the fact that you're so engaged in this side and where you see your excitement and your enthusiasm for how you, the business of one, the service provider to this employer, can really exceed expectations. That's the point you're going to reinforce so that when you go in and you sit down, you're going to say, this is a really tough conversation for me to have. I know you're grooming me to become this, and I'm grateful for that. I love that you believe in me. I believe in this company. My challenge is that it doesn't align with my vision for my own career. And here's why. Here's where it's not aligning. Now, I do see an opportunity for myself here that aligns with my career. This is what it is. This is what it looks like. And this is why I want to do it. But more importantly, here's why it's a good idea for you to pivot me in that direction. Because here's how you're going to save money and make money as a company. Here's how you're going to get even more value out of me when I'm allowed to do this type of work. And in doing so, you can successfully take the employer from looking at you as being in one position and moving them to looking at you in another. Now, that being said, they may come back and go, okay, we get it. But right now, what we need is for you to do this job. And you need to be prepared for that. Remember, an employer is running a business. They can't just move people all the time because they feel like it. There has to be a solid business case to make that move, which is why I told you to map out the business case to help them see the light. But even then, that might not be something they can do right this very second. And you need to be prepared for that. So the response should be, I understand. I'm a team player and I'm willing to continue to groom and work in this role, but at the same time, can we build a game plan and a time frame for when I could be able to move to the other role? So that way you're going to get a concrete answer about what you need to do to contribute in order to then pivot your career in the direction you want it to go, and together you and your employer can work to make that happen. Nice thing about that is if they stall or they don't start to make good on that plan, you're going to see that, you're going to know that, and then it may be time to look for a different opportunity, as opposed to you spending years and years and years sitting in this role, waiting for that day and it never happening, right? So that's also going to allow you to stay engaged because you're going to know, well, we put a plan together. When they start following through on the plan, they're breaking their promise. That enables me, frees me mentally to start looking for that opportunity that does align with my career goals. Now, the last aspect to this that I want to cover is, what if you know, oh my gosh, there is no place for me here. What they're grooming me for isn't what I want, and I don't see any other opportunities here for me to pivot. If that's the case, and I'm going to be perfectly honest with you, you need to start looking for work as soon as possible. And you might want to tell your employer, you might feel like, oh, I feel guilty, they're grooming me for this role, and I really don't want it. The problem with that is the moment you tell them and they know that you don't want this role, they could fire you. Right? They could say, okay, well, we don't want to waste any more time grooming you or any more money on you. Here you go. Now you're without a job. Okay? Or even say, well, give us a hard end date. and you need to be out of here. You have to protect yourself. So keep adding value, keep working with them, but go find that other opportunity so that you can then say, I didn't want you to have to train me anymore. And, I found another opportunity. If you can try to give them enough notice, I would say a minimum of 2 weeks. If you can give them 3 weeks or a month, that's even better. But that's really the situation. And that's the delicate, challenging part a lot of people face is, oh, JT, I feel so guilty. They're training me and I know I'm not staying. I understand that, but you also have to protect your business of one, and telling that client that you're not interested in them anymore could really turn the tables on you and put you in a situation that you just can't afford, okay? All right, well, there you have it. What to do when you're being groomed for a job that you don't want. I hope this information helped, and I hope you'll come back and check out the next episode of Help Me JT.